Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Let's wait a couple minutes. Marwan said he's going to come in a second and he's going to talk about beta home run. That's what he put in the doc. Meanwhile, if you want to do PR triage, look in the doc, the agenda doc. I'll put a link to it. It's pretty easy. I put a link to the page that describes what it is and why we do it. We just started doing it. And basically, anyone can do it. You just put your name on a spreadsheet for one of the days you want to do it. And they are much appreciated. Other than that, let me make sure. Yeah, other than that, we're probably going to go over issues anyway for beta. So Marwan, I assume you put beta home run on the agenda, so take it away.
Yeah, we're super close. Thank you everyone and Aaron for all the doc stuff. There's really not much left besides just announcing that it's done. Maybe on a more exciting level, there's maybe it helps or maybe it doesn't, but I am currently in the RFC process to deploy Athens for the New York Times as a company. And so it's looking good, but I think having it be officially a beta definitely helps, but still in the process. So it's not finalized yet, but it's there definitely seems to be a need and it's being requested. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I haven't really thought about anything else besides just like once it's beta, that means we feel a little bit more comfortable in pushing it and saying like at least freezing kind of the code to a point where we can fix things if need be, just to whatever, if we end up tagging something or patching stuff, it just makes it a little bit more stable. I don't know, Aaron, if you have any, or anybody else have any thoughts about that, but I was just thinking as part of this meeting, maybe we'd talk about sort of having a dev branch and a beta branch, or maybe just a beta tag that we can, whatever works. But I'm pretty excited to kind of say like, this is the beta version and only fixes go there.
I know our CI is set up, so if we tag it, it'll go and push up all the images and everything. So we should definitely do that at least. But we could cut a branch too and do our fixes, our patch releases off of that if you like.
Yeah, it's whatever people feel comfortable with. I mean, we could always just I mean, yeah, it'd be nice to continue and then start maybe like once the beta's out, we start working on 0.2 or the distributed stuff, whatever comes first. But if we ever want to just patch something onto the beta, if there's someone reports an issue that is specific to the beta branch, it'd be nice to have like a 1.1 or 1.3 release that just fixes beta only issues. So having a branch probably makes it easier, but we can always like cut branches on the fly from that tag, from the 0.1 tag, and then cherry pick commits, whatever people prefer. But as long as we kind of are aware of like what's going on, and that like working on the master branch is like still ongoing, but if someone reports an issue that seems because of the beta, or by trying the beta, or maybe from the beta image that we'll have, then we know that's specific for beta and it's not just.
What do you prefer, Marwan?
I prefer probably cutting a branch since it's a release, but it just depends on how much work there will be afterwards. I'm not aware of anybody else testing it kind of for a team or maybe multiple teams besides you and me. So if we see if there are a lot of people who are already doing it, maybe then there is not much need for a branch because, it seems already stable, people are using it. But if we see many more people testing it because we released a beta branch, then we might actually we're probably going to catch more edge cases than we thought of.
Okay. I think it's pretty easy. We can just create a call it vo.1.0 branch.
Right.
And we'll also tag, and then we can do any patch releases off the branch.
Yeah. Would it be cool if we maybe set a date, like a very, very potential, easily changeable date for when we would tag the beta?
I think so. Well, let's work backwards. We've got 2 issues left in the VO.1 milestone. They're both docs. One is the thing about you can't get the package by revision. And then the other one is like kind of marketing, sales stuff. Why does it matter? Unless someone else wants to pick up one of those, I was probably going to do them today/tomorrow. So if someone wants to pick them up, one or both, this will go faster. Well, if someone wants to pick up one, and I'll do the other one, this will go faster. Otherwise, I would say if I'm going to do them, then probably early next week, like maybe Tuesday.
I can do. I'd be happy to do the revision part.
Okay.
If no one has picked it up yet.
Let me see. Discussion. It looks like, yeah, nobody's picked it up. There's some discussion. I saw you responded, Marwan, Federico, and Piotr also responded. So yeah, okay. No one picked it up. Okay.
I'll just self-assign it. So I have one last question regarding docs, since that's the only blocker right now, is are there documentation, or should there be, on how to set up the documentation website locally? Because I've never done that. I know it looks nice online, yeah, but I don't know how to.
Good question. Nuno, I know you did a ton of work on Dockerizing the docs local development server. Can you talk about that at all today?
Hi everyone. First, sorry, I'm in the train station right now. I was just joining just to say hi, actually. So hi everyone. Yeah, for Marwan, actually what I can do more likely is during this weekend or something like that, I can share again the Docker repo for Go Ugo. It's there, it's in my Docker repo. And I have the explanation how to download the Go modes doc from GitHub, and then you mount it as a volume with the Docker file, and it will work simply like that. So it's just a two-steppers setup. I did that on purpose, actually.
If
Can
you
you
could, yeah, I heard that. If you could, maybe just Slack it. I will include it as part of the doc. But if you want to push it as a documentation, totally up to you. But I should remember it easily enough. But if I don't, if you Slack it, that'd be great.
Right. I will connect between today and tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Again, I'm in a train station in Switzerland. So hi
No
everyone,
rush.
and take care.
And then Marwan, another option. I think the Docker one is probably good long term, but for now, another option is download Hugo and CD into the docs directory and just type Hugo server, and it'll show up on localhost.
That sounds good to me as well.
It's on Homebrew.
I didn't even know we were using Hugo. I was just like writing Markdown the whole time.
Yeah,
it magically shows up nicely on the website.
It's Hugo. We used Hugo and Anger on this one. Yeah. Were you thinking docs on that as part of beta or not? Which one?
Easily. I mean, I think as long as we get these two docs out and we set a date, then we know like we have enough time to add a few more things. I mean, there's something else that a PR that I did that might be nice for beta, and so like I'll add it to the milestone if people agree. But like I feel like there's probably a few cleanups here and there that are not like officially on the issue tracker, but since they're like we're still merging things, they're kind of like implicitly being included. So like for example, config cleanups, removing Olympus stuff, they're not really a blocker. So as long as we're doing that, and then once we get to the date, the arbitrary date, then like it doesn't matter. We can just freeze right then and there.
Okay.
But if people feel like they should include something, that's totally up for anyone to do. So yeah, the long story short is I think we can include this little doc saying like this is how you set up Hugo for the doc website. And if it doesn't make it, it's fine.
So just out of curiosity, is there concern around like the new changes that are outside the scope of beta going into the same beta release? So like beta is released and with just I guess the two doc changes that are in the milestone right now. And then, immediately following that, we have we continue to do features on master branch. Is there concern around that getting pushed to Docker Hub as well, like new changes?
Right. I think if I just want to jump in, I've kind of thought about this because like right now there's a PR for the logger, kind of some log stuff. That's kind of up to people if they want to say, let's include this as part of beta or not. There isn't I haven't seen anything that is gigantic that should potentially wait. Like we've already said, like, hey, let's wait on the distributed stuff because that's a big change. I would say like if there's any change, or also the get module by revision, that kind of changes the core logic of Athens and how we store things. So we've already put a pause on major features. I want to say major, on significant features that changes the core logic. So personally, I'm not too worried about any changes, but if anyone sees a PR that they think this should wait for beta, just feel free to put a comment to say, should this wait for beta? And then people could up or down vote it. But that's just my take.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I think if there's an accident or we want to get something in or whatever, we can tag that commit and say, or we can cherry pick into the tag too and say, okay, well, this is beta. We'll branch off of that as well. And then going forward, we can do the same thing for the distributed stuff and the O.2 as well. We've got some flexibility, I think.
For sure.
And I think the main thing is Marwan, you said it, we've kind of already planned it out, but also We also don't really have to slow down because we can tag off of previous SHAs. I like that we have flexibility. Thank you.
Yeah. I was just also going to add that if we put a date, like let's say December 1st, just to make it easy, once we finish the last 2 docs, we could just like skim the current open PRs and the current open issues and see which ones might be worth sneaking in that we haven't assigned to the beta yet. Like, for example, if the date people like is December 1st, and then we have a whole month, and there's already a PR for the logger middleware fix, maybe it's nice to include that since we have like 3 weeks to test that out and stuff like that. So we could basically, once we finish those 2 docs and set a date, we could just skim the issues and PRs and pick which ones we want to include that we haven't yet. And I wouldn't say it's thing that is not even worked on yet, like potentially just the things that already have an open PR, because it'll make things much faster.
So speaking of the date, I have a date picker open for this beta milestone. What do people think? Earlier, like next week, maybe the week after, or December 1st? Those were the 2 things that we came up so far. Personally, I'm fine with earlier. Does anyone else have an opinion?
Sooner the better.
Okay.
Just don't make it Friday.
How about Saturday? No, I'm just kidding. Week from today?
Wait, when is Thanksgiving again?
It is this one, 22nd.
I would say personally 3rd week, so like the 14th or the 15th or December 1st, if you want to give ourselves more time to.
Okay.
Up to you guys.
All right. What about the 14th?
Sounds good.
I'm in the sooner the better camp too, obviously, as you can tell. 14th?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
It'll be a memorable day now.
Yeah, the 14th of November. Saved. Yeah, this isn't, Marwan, you said it too. This isn't set in stone. So we've got the doc stuff. I think, Marwan, you said there's some PRs open as well. Did you want to point any of them out?
Yeah, which one was I looking at? So the first one obviously is easy. It's just like a cleanup. The second one might be nice to have. It looks like you could add DigitalOcean without much work.
I'm just gonna make these comments.
Go for it. This one seems like it's not a big change. Selfishly enough, I don't use DigitalOcean or S3, but if people have different opinions, like don't listen to me because I don't use this. But it looked like it's not a big change. Fine struct, also selfishly, I've talked to some coworkers where I've showed them how Athens work, and they made a comment about they were confused why is there like a proxy struct inside the proxy config? And I had to explain, like, we used to have an Olympus thing and they were 2 separate things. And so I thought it was a nice thing to just make one config file without embedded proxy struct, since we just have a proxy now.
That change is awesome.
Thank you. I
You
appreciate
also
that.
included into beta, so we have the final layout of the config before we go out with something.
Yeah. To me, that was like just cleaning up the config is probably a good thing for beta, so that when people try things out, the config is as simple as it can be. Yeah, go for it.
I'm clicking it.
Yep.
Very good.
All right.
Right. And then I want to say this is just my personal opinion. The next one is the the log middleware. I feel like it's probably a really nice to have, but not like it's up to people. I don't know if we have like right now a bunch of different middleware stuff, and this one finally like closes that issue that's been open for a long time, where we're finally hopefully deciding on one way to do log middleware and then move on. So, but it does change a little bit of the code here and there. So it's a timing thing probably more than.
I'm going to leave it, I put the comment, but I'm going to leave it out for now because it doesn't change like the UX. That's not actually true. It doesn't change like the operational aspect.
Yeah, it doesn't change the UX or anything. It does touch the code of the download protocol. So as long as we hopefully just get to do a smoke test before we do a beta, I think it's fine.
Cool.
Well, and this one actually doesn't do anything yet. So like if we merge this exact PR, actually nothing would change.
Nothing. Yeah.
But I guess follow-up PRs that use it would be touching the download protocol.
Sounds good. Yeah. Sorry, that's kind of what I meant, like the whole issue as a whole.
We could also just put in all the PRs that have been approved too. I mean, they just need to be merged, right?
Agreed.
Actually, Brent, can you just write down what you said in this PR? Like how you said it doesn't touch anything, but it makes
it's actually in my comment on the PR already, I think. If it's not clear, I can totally change that and clarify. But
okay.
I was trying to kind of follow your idea of doing it incrementally, so I didn't modify too much stuff yet. But yeah, I guess if that's not clear, just let me know.
My ideas? No.
Yeah. Just let me know and I'll clarify more if I need to.
Okay. All right. What else? This is worthless. We don't need this for the beta. What do we think about this?
If this is approved, you can just merge. We don't even need to make a comment.
Okay.
I don't know anything about Windows.
Do I?
Yeah, that's exactly
I did use
right.
Windows all my life until I came here, but it's been too long.
Hey man, I work at Microsoft. I don't know anything about Windows. Okay. Sorry, I don't care. Okay. I'm just gonna say this.
Mm-hmm. This beta is. Yeah.
Okay. Other issues? Does anyone have issues that pop out? Would be good for beta, maybe good for beta, etc.
I don't think so.
There is one that I think I'd like to do, which I think it's called fully Dockerized development environment. Let me try to find it so that I don't just have you guess things.
Okay.
It is issue number 420. And I said that with the high pitch on purpose. I think I could probably squeeze this in this week.
Okay.
It's basically, I mean, it has nothing to do with the actual beta release because this is just for development. But if we're going to have maybe more people visit the repo, then it'd be nice to have like a one command that sets off your entire development environment. We're pretty close. We already have the Docker file. We have the Docker compose. I think I just want to like look over things and maybe even add a documentation update or anything, just to double check. So I'll assign myself to that because I've been wanting to do it since I opened the issue months ago. But yeah, we've incrementally kind of worked on this to a point that I think it's like 90% done, if not 100% done.
Okay.
Right. Other stuff?
I have one question.
I don't want to send Bitcoin right now. It's for later. Go for it. Sorry, Manu.
Oh, okay. I was like, how should we write the release notes? Because we have so much stuff. And I think if we do not take the time to release notes, we'll be doing ourselves an injustice. Like, we have done so much.
Good point. I don't know. I think one possibility is we can go through, well, two possibilities. Maybe we can do both. We can go through closed PRs since we did a previous tag. We might have even called it, yeah, we call it vo.1.0, ironically. So we might want to call this vo.2. But anyway, we can go through every PR that was merged since then. And we can kind of just do it like as a human. We can go through and say, oh, that one looks big, that one looks big, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Then the other option is we basically can go through the package structure. So maybe I have Athens up right now. No. Sorry, I have to, okay. So we can go through the package structure and say, let's say like log. It's like, oh, okay, well, we have highly improved logging and we have observability support for X, Y, and Z.
Like a Go team.
Say what?
Like a Go team.
Yeah. Basically that, yeah. Storage, like we have support for these storages and you know, so forth. So two ideas, I think about them. Maybe there's more ideas out there, I'm almost positive. So,
yeah. What if we like just take the list of commits on master, take it to an Excel file and like, you know, or something like that. And like, this is what we want to advertise. This is what we want to really talk about. And then like, I don't know how many commits we have. It really depends on the number of commits otherwise.
We have a lot, but you know what? If you're up for doing that, why don't we do that? And we'll put votes on the rows.
Okay.
We might want to, because there's probably going to be thousands. So we might want to.
It's 459 commits. It's not a lot because we squash everyone.
That's true. Yeah. Okay. You up for doing that, Manu?
Yeah, I think I'll just start off and tell you if I can actually do it or not because I haven't done it. It's just an idea in my mind.
Okay.
Like how much work is involved.
Okay. Yeah, look into it then.
Yeah, I'll look into it.
Cool.
Maybe we can then transform it to the second one. I find the second one really like more usable. When I read the Go release notes, I check packages I'm interested in. So maybe we can go this way.
There's going to be 2 ways we announce this as well. Well, actually 3. So there's obviously the GitHub release. There's going to be a tweet, maybe a couple tweets. We'll have a blog post on the Athens blog. So there's the 3. And then plus, whoever else wants to blog about it, and probably I'm going to be doing at least one screencast on it. So my point in saying all this is there's going to be different mediums that we can put different levels of detail in.
Yep.
So Mana, why don't you see how much work it is, and if it looks good, then we'll start there.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know like how other release notes are written. This was just a random thought in my mind. So
We get to define how we write our own release notes. And a lot of the projects I've been on have not written them particularly well. So that's another thing. Cool. Other stuff folks want to talk about? Okay. Cool. All right. Thanks, everybody.
See ya.
Later, guys.
Yep. How do I close?